Hello everyone, my name is Steven Zapata. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, online art teacher, and former instructor at Art Center College of Design. I would like to introduce you to my new drawing course, Form from Imagination, a course designed to help you draw with confidence from your mind. Maybe you want to be a professional illustrator or designer, maybe you want to be a master with a pencil, or maybe you just want to be the best artist that you can be. Beautiful goals. But it's not always clear how to improve the work that you do from imagination. Over the past 6 months, I've taken all of the little eurekas, tips, and essential exercises that gave me confidence drawing from my mind and compiled them into a sequential course. We start with the absolute foundations, covering the scientific nature of light and shadow, how to hatch, how to create flat tones, how to render spheres and cubes, and step by step, we move through combined shapes, complex shapes, organic shapes. We cover how to simplify extremely complex subjects like the head into basic shapes so that you can handle them more easily from your head. We look at how to understand and treat details. And by the end of these 14 chapters with over 50 video lessons, you'll be ready to do complex designs from your mind with fidelity and energy. And all the demos are done in pencil on paper, so you can do all of the assignments even if you don't have a fancy digital art setup. But I also have demos, instructions, and modifications to the assignments for those who do want to do them digitally. Here's how it works. Go to formfromimagination.com and sign up for the course. Download the assignment book and start watching the lectures. Do the assignments at your own pace. Take your time with them and use this self-study to develop your patience. When you're done, post your assignments in the exclusive community hub, and I'll personally critique your work with drawovers, diagrams, and advice. I want you to know, this course is no joke just because it's online. It is challenging content, and it is more complete than it would be if I was teaching this class at an art college as I have before. If I was teaching this class in person at Art Center today, I would just play these videos in class, knowing full well that they're the most concise, focused, edited, step-by-step way to convey the material. So I'm serious when I say, this course isn't just a substitute for a college level course, it's better than a college level course. And you don't have to pay thousands of dollars per credit and wind up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So thank you for checking out the course, thank you for watching this and for your support, and thank you for drawing and making your artwork. The world needs it. I'll see you soon.
Come in. Oh.
Hello, Joseph, is it?
Hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
Mm-hmm. It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't, I mean, you drew this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with form from imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about form from imagination. The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Steven Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Steven cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Steven Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Steven's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Steven. My crew is, of course, all clones of Steven. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Steven's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Steven Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Steven mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Steven. And through me, he will live again, to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Steven Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1.
Who's that, Steven? It's Gamghoul, Steven!
How you holding up out there, Stave? I'd say considering I'm fighting a Steven who doesn't draw, I'm doing all right, really. Ha! Just try to keep everyone entertained while you try to keep your head. I need more time in Cathar Steven's palace. I know the god graphite is here. Somewhere in here. If I only knew where. Hey, no rush, man. I got this guy on the ropes. Trust me.
Yeah! Lucina Thunder, Duneja Madito, Dunya, Nanyata Da Giada.
What? It's Incanthia, great sword of the Black Fountain. He really does have it.
Yeah! Nitroya. Nitsuyo Tufu. Gimya Tanta. Ata.
This is a dream of Steven. Stave, are you there?
Steven, you got to the ship. How do you get past the blockades?
Nothing the dream couldn't handle. But they're on me, and we're coming in hot. I'm gonna get you out of there. Do I have clearance to murder some citizen Stevens as I strafe the arena?
Soon, but not yet. Sturvin needs more time in the palace to find the god graphite. If you attack now, all the guards watching my execution will rush back to the palace to secure Cathar Steven. So give him the runaround until I get word from Sturvin. The god graphite. Finally. Oh, it's beautiful. Well, yes. Come to Sturvin. Hold on. No need to rush there, little Steven. You and I both know Stave wouldn't want you to get sloppy and spill any of that, would he? It's streaming time. It's streaming time! What's up, everybody? Gonna move this over here. I go over there, and that goes over here. All right. There's a little music in the background this time. It should be very quiet, but if it gets too loud, just let me know. And let's work. The rare weekend stream from the old SB. Hello to Nick, Aki, Arashi, Tetselek, Asalam, Tuo, and Yuri G. What's the release date for the next episode? You know, the massive team is working on it. The huge team that we have making the show is hard at work. Lots of incredible artists working on the next episode. Where can I watch the next episode? It's coming. You'll find it absolutely everywhere. HBO, Paramount, Hulu, Peacock, FX streaming, Showtime's canceled on-demand streaming network. Absolutely everything, including canceled platforms. You'll be able to find it on there once it's out. In fact, you won't be able to miss it because it'll actually be the only thing legally allowed on those platforms once it's released. You know, we set the precedent. We're gonna set the precedent, getting rid of TikTok. We're gonna ban everything else. The only legal content is gonna be Drawing Ascendant, The Eternal Chronicles of Steven Zapata, Lasting Legacy 1, Episode 1. Pretty soon, we are gonna get there. Taylor Osborne says, hey Steven, just bought the course a month ago. Oh, that reminds me, I have a sale on my course. It's right underneath me, the info. Can you see that? What you see below me? Not a normal part of Photoshop's UI. It's info about the sale on my course. As I was saying, Taylor says, just bought the course a month ago, learning more than I thought I would, loving it so far. I'm so happy to hear that. Congratulations. I put a lot of work into it, and there's a lot of info in there. I am very glad that you are pleasantly surprised. I'm very, very proud of it. When I made it, I mean, I've done a lot of courses, taken a lot of classes. I have spent a lot of my life engaging with all sorts of art training materials. Async, in-person, all digital, just everything. I've taught it too, so when I made my course, I was like, I'm not gonna make it unless it's literally the best one. When I said I'm making it, I knew right away. I was like, it's gotta be the best one I've ever seen for this topic or else I'm not making it. And I did it. I do genuinely think I made the best one. Crazy to say, but yeah, I really believe it. That doesn't mean it has to be the best one in everybody else's eyes, but at least for me, I hit my goal. All made of Stevens, that's right. Tet says the can you do the can you do the can? And then also says, I love the leaves on your Among the Trees drawing, by the way. Thank you. Stared at them for like an hour straight. I appreciate it. Though, I doubt it was an hour. I'm only saying that because, have you ever tried looking at a piece of art for an hour? It's actually a very interesting experience. I don't think it happens unless you really intend to. But You should try it, anyone who's interested. You set a timer, look at a favorite painting for an hour. It's an experience. You'll see things in it that you never noticed before. It's a trip. Pick a good one. Tula says, you taught art in art schools, right? How did you find that? I didn't find it. I taught at the school that I went to, Art Center College of Design, so they approached me. You know, that was just through my natural network, the people I knew there, stuff like that. If I was, and if I was trying to teach at another school, I would do basically the same thing. You know, I would try to, like if I wanted to teach at SVA here in New York or something like that, like most things in this art world, I would try to do that first by activating my natural network. So I would just put out the feelers like, hey, does anyone I know have any inroads at SVA? I know people I know have inroads at SVA, and I'd just get on the phone with them, chat, see what's possible, see how it worked for them, and see what happens. So much of making our careers work is natural networking. And by natural networking, I mean friendships, real friendships. Make friends, keep friends. It's got too green. I want this to be more yellow. Steven, who do you think would win in a fist fight, Frazetta or Steve Houston? I'd bet Steve is stronger, but I feel like Steve is a gentler soul, and that might hold him back in a fight. And Frazetta, I don't think would pull any punches. I think Frazetta would be out to kill. So I guess I'd go for Frazetta. Steven, have you seen The Three Body Problem? Any thoughts if you have? I only watched the first episode of the show, and then I bounced off. I'll reserve any judgments because I haven't watched the rest. I think I'll go back to it at some point. I read the books, and I love them. The show felt a little off to me right off the bat, and I was like, well, you know, it's not like I don't know what happens, so. The books are great, some of my favorites. I did poke someone's brain about it at a party afterwards. They had seen the whole thing. So I asked them some questions, and what I heard did not make me want to watch it. But they also did tell me that I should finish it, so. You know what, let's clip these tattoos early, just so that,
just so I can test the layer style on them as I render. Lax says, what is up with the John Wick music? I don't know. I detected it too. I changed it. That playlist that was playing before is real hit or miss. Hello, drink water. Steven, how do I learn to work faster without visibly sacrificing quality? Will I learn to make shortcuts as I practice normally, or should I make an active effort to be faster? The thing that makes you faster is finishing difficult pieces. There is no, you can't actively train yourself to draw faster. You're kidding yourself. What would you do? Just do 1 minute gesture drawings? Like tons of people get trapped at 1 minute gesture drawings. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. There's no real way to purposefully train yourself to get faster. It happens naturally. And the number one thing that makes you get faster counterintuitively is spending 200 hours to finish something all the way. Mechanically moving your hand fast is useless. That does nothing. It only makes you draw worse. What actually makes you work quicker is having a clear understanding of how you get from where you are to the finish that you want. And the only way to gain that clear understanding is to spend a lot of time getting to the finish that you want. But if you actually do that, you'd be amazed how fast you can get. Catherine, how are you? Catherine says, hello all, I'm here to bask in the glorious glow. That's right. That's right. Zdeck says, hey Steven, I heard you say you're working on a concept art course. You have a release date in mind? End of the summer, I think. Like August or maybe September. This sounds like a lullaby or something. What am I listening to? If I duplicate this, sometimes if you run a soft light twice, that looks, ugh, just looks horrible. All right, well, sometimes the layer modes are not gonna help you, but what you can do is, you at least have you've got the shape, and then you can lock it. And even if you can't get a lot of work for free from the layer mode, having it locked, you can paint the value changes into the shapes very quickly. So maybe that's what we wind up doing. Sometimes you just can't get it easy. Okay, yeah, that can work later. We'll come back to that. ZDex is absolutely correct. ZDex is totally on the level, even, steady, and absolutely correct. MOK says, hey Steven, any tips to avoid shallow character designs? You need to work to a story. You need actual criteria. Doing character designs, just, I'm trying to make a cool character, very few people are good at that. Or would ever be good at that. Like, you need a specific story to put constraints on the character. Steven, do you know fear and hunger as in the game, not the feeling of both? No, I do not. Is this your IP, says Drinkwater? Yeah, I guess so. I always find it a little funny, that terminology. It's so like of our era. This is my personal IP. Christian Nee is in the chat. Hi, Christian. Christian has a YouTube channel that, if you like art interviews, he's got a bunch on there. The Sketchy Van podcast, you should check it out if you're in the market for such things. And Christian says, I heard this guy is the best artist alive. You heard right. You probably heard it on all the major news networks. Or you probably read it in some teen magazine. They never stopped talking about me. Hello, Autumn Rose. Still working on my animation project, and it's a lot. I'll get it done eventually, though. You will. Oh, you will. Oh, you will. We all know about Christian's van. This is Ken Levine. Stephen, do you or have you ever listened to Nuhabes? I have not. Emma says, geez, I love hearing people say my IP instead of just personal project. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right and I'm wrong. Why am I so prejudiced? Prejudiced against the things people say. How you doing, Emma? I heard it from my mom directly, says Catherine. Oh, yeah. Andrew says, hola, Steven. Buenas tardes. How's it going, Andrew? Menace Play says, I love your philosophy, approach, and work so much. Thank you so much, Menace. You're my menace. You're a menace to me. For the record, I'm going to stop on this one as soon as I feel like I understand what the pipeline looks like for this kind of render, because I did not actually clean up the sketch for this render, which is always a bad idea. So. This one is not ready to go all the way to like a deep render. It's pretty close. Wasn't that off from what I want, but I need to redraw the hands and stuff like that. Do you draw exclusively surrealism? I mean, what I'm drawing right now, I wouldn't say is surrealism, but it's one of my favorite things to draw. My personal drawings, things that aren't like stories and things like that. All right, well, what am I trying to say? This is personal work. I'm doing it with a friend, or this project is being done with a friend, but this is not the kind of project that I undertake when I'm just completely on my own, left to my own devices. Those are my pencil drawings and things like that. And my pencil drawings, the things I do completely for myself, not like a project that's supposed to be a bigger product, yes, those are almost always surrealistic to some degree. But I do a lot of this stuff. Just less surrealistic, more typical fantasy drawing, designing, telling stories. And my professional career as a commercial artist is all stuff like this. I've never done the more surreal stuff for commercial work or anything like that. I wish people would put stuff like that on Starbucks cups, but weirdly, there's no market for that. Kareem says, how does one study other artists? And Drink Water says, one simply studies the other artist. That's about right. Just focus on doing it rather than worrying about it too much. The one piece of advice I tend to give students is try to study, and let's just say copy, try to copy the other artist the way that you want to draw. Some people don't know what that is at all yet. They can't say how they want to draw, but most people have a bit of an idea. You know, they want to draw fast and aggressive, or they want to draw slow and careful and measured. Copy the artist in your way. It's very easy when you're copying something to sort of lock up and work in a way that's very unnatural to you. There's no need for that. It's like use the copy as an opportunity to try to translate the kind of finished result that the other artist has gotten to into your hand language, into how you actually construct pictures. Because otherwise, if you adopt this sort of affected way of working for the purposes of doing the copy that you're never going to use again, you're kind of not really practicing in the best way that you could, right? Because you're not going to then go and draw that way when you go do your stuff. So it's like it creates a lot of distance between the study and the actual application. I like to just correct things with a totally solid brush. I feel like it saves time in the long run. It's easy enough to destroy edges digitally. Just run the airbrush over hard edges or use the smudge tool. You can just destroy stuff like that so easy. So when you're correcting things, you can just be really brutal about it and go fast. I did not put much of a pattern on that cloth. I should have designed something more interesting. Dean says, hi Stephen, I have a specific question about light. Sometimes when drawing from life, there's this white, skinny, thin outline on the skin. Is that rim light? What modeling factor does it correspond to? If it's a skinny, thin outline on the edge of the skin, like, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. So if in this situation you saw something like this, so there's two things that could be. One, there might be a backlight. So look around the room. Is there a light, behind the model here? And that's hitting the very edge of that form, and it's causing that lightening. If you can't identify the light source, one thing that tends to give it away is that it has shape, right? Because it's just a light. It's a full light, as if, if you're looking at the back of the model, if you're on the other side of this drawing, it would be a front light. So it creates like a variety of shapes. So it'll be thicker, then thinner, then thicker up here, and then thinner here, and then it'll spill way down here. And that's because you're seeing, a broad light shape compressed by perspective. So if it has this kind of variety, that usually indicates that it's a backlight. It's another light in the room. If it doesn't have that, and it has that very thin quality, that can be the Fresnel effect from the specularity of the skin, because skin is very specular. If you don't know the difference between diffuse and specular reflection, that's something to look into. But specular reflection is actually, you only see it in key places from your perspective, but all parts of a form are actually reflecting diffusely and specularly everywhere, wherever they're getting struck by photons. So if you hold your hand up and you get your eye really close to your hand and you look at all of the little lines on your skin all over, all of the Langer lines, all of that little netting pattern of the wrinkles of your skin, you'll see, if you let your eyes adjust, that every little island of flesh is actually holding a specular. There's specular all over your skin. There's specular reflection everywhere. So skin is highly shiny, and that exaggerates the Fresnel effect when it turns away from you. The Fresnel effect is an effect where, because physics, the more low angle your eye is to a surface, if this is the relationship of your eye to light source, the more shallow, the more edge-on it is, the more perfectly reflective that point of the surface becomes. So there was another plane here. This part, even if it's very shiny, would be less reflective than this. I don't usually teach the Fresnel effect as a modeling factor because it isn't really, it's not really a modeling factor. It is an effect of physics. There's tons of other, it's like iridescence. It's another special effect, and not all materials have it, and varieties in different materials affect how the Fresnel effect manifests. So it's not really a modeling factor. It does occur on all shiny things, but it's technically a special material effect. Like I said, more like iridescence or something like that. What is the music? Why is my music being so weird? All right, we're moving on. Hold on a second. We're leaving that behind. I'm a little behind here. Is there a good way of adding color to a monochrome drawing if you feel the values are good already? I always feel I'm spoiling the balance of the picture by adding color. For instance, have you ever tried adding color to one of your pencil works? People do it. I don't like doing it. I really like pencil just on its own. The reason that I think it's difficult to do is that when you draw in monochrome, you're actually doing, I think it's like something magical. It's like, if I draw a can of Coca-Cola in pencil and I make it sort of very realistic, you accept it as a can of Coca-Cola, even though one of the most essential aspects of a Coca-Cola can, it being red, is completely missing from the picture. And you never ever see the real world like that. It's a totally alien experience, a black and white drawing. There is no ever any situation in life outside of art, like a black and white film or something like that, where you see form and color separated. That doesn't happen. Form and color come together. They're one. So when you draw in monochrome, you're doing a magical translation where you are showing someone's mind something that they've always known about an object, but that they've never been able to experience directly, just the form with no color. that, oops, sorry, my music's getting very loud. The intensity of that translation actually makes it so that your brain is working in a completely different way when it tries to show something in black and white. So you're doing all this work in black and white, and you are, in that time, not paying attention to the decisions that you need to make about color, right? Because just value is not enough. For example, our brain is physiologically hardwired to see increased saturation as increased brightness. And you cannot, unless you're a genius of art, you cannot effectively plan for that problem while you are working in black and white. So there's a ton of friction. And if you're not aware that that's happening, you try to make a black and white drawing color and you're not even aware. You don't even know that you have all these, that you need to compensate for. All right, this part that looks good in black and white as this value, it actually needs to go up or down because I need to hit the chroma point of this hue, right? Like, you need to know a lot of color theory to do it very effectively. And for most people, it's just easier to begin in color in the first place, because then you're seeing the aggregate color effect the whole time. It's just easier to do the decision making. So that's why I don't do it. If I want to do something in color, I just try to start in color as early as possible. But tons of people do what you're talking about. I just can't give you much advice for it. The best results I've seen is acrylic. I've tried it with watercolor and stuff like that. It really doesn't work well for me personally. Paul Bonner does a really good job using watercolor to color pencil drawings to like a very high degree of finish. But I very, very rarely have ever seen that work for people besides Paul Bonner. It's like, it's gotta be acrylic. That's the one that I see work for people most often. So I'd stick to acrylic if I were you. I think that if I ever wanted to give it like an honest shot, I'd do acrylic. But I don't really have like an easel right now, so. I want to do one though. I want to set up an actual painting corner in my home. Just play the damn Hades soundtrack. I wish I could, but they started striking me for the Hades soundtrack. Where was I? Coloring pencil drawings. More interesting art on packaging. Isn't that the reason why we can see reflections on water when we're farther away, but it just looks like water the moment we get near? It's like, see, that maps with the Fresnel effect. It's like the same thing, right, functionally speaking. But once you go really deep into how materials work, once you get really into the science, which there's a lot of nerdy places online where people try to answer those questions, you find that even though it's functionally the same, someone who really knows what's going on, like a physicist, when they explain it, you realize that they're actually, from material to material, it's actually totally different functions of light that are producing the same effect. So for all intents and purposes, yes, the Fresnel effect is what produces that effect with water. But if we were to ask a physicist, we might find out that no, it's actually a totally different aspect of water. It just so happens that in aggregate, it produces the same result. All right, I'm really behind on chat here, so I'm gonna cut my losses there. If I missed any of your questions, feel free to re-ask. Hello, nobody. Hello, Malabut. Hello, FKTNM. Is the music volume okay, guys? The Divinity Original Sin soundtrack tends to have it has a lot of ups and downs, so it's a little difficult to balance for. I want it quiet, but I don't know if you guys can hear it at all. Omar, what's up, buddy? Omar says no fruit booting. What does that mean? What is fruit booting? If it's inappropriate, go ahead and ban yourself. Omar, ban yourself. Omar, my dear friend, ban yourself. FKTNM says, Steven, recently I had made an artist friend in real life. Oh, that's nice. Then they started getting shy because they felt they weren't as good. Told them good doesn't matter. But now it's weird. Any advice? Just subjugate them. Just next time you see them, just... Dude, it sounds like they want to get bossed around. Put your foot down. Next time you see them, say, what is this shit? What is this? Why are you sucking so bad? How long have you been doing this? And this is what you... Oh, God. Oh, God. You need help. And I'm the only one who can help you. You need me. I'm the best friend you could have asked for. Bend the knee, kiss the ring. You're gonna go to bed every night thanking God that you know me. They'll like that. See, it's the pretending that that's not the case that makes it weird. If you just like cut the bullshit and just hit them with the real deal, they'll be like, you know what? I like being subjugated. This feels right. And you'll be able to have a real natural friendship. Oops. Wow, that's a pretty big jewel right there. I'm a fourth-year physics student. He knows his physics. Who, did I miss someone's explanation of the Fresnel effect or how water works? Aki says, I saw Fresnel effect in my optics class. Steven is definitely a physicist working on a secret project. No, I've just been very interested in how light works for a long time. And it's all very psychedelic once you actually, you know. Every time you go deep on something, it's like the world's trying to wake you up. I mean, just read the Wikipedia page for how color works. You read the wiki for how color works, and by the end of it, you'll just be like, all right, the world is an illusion. Okay, cool. Zeddeck says, somebody tell Sergeant Zappapoo here, I didn't even need his course Form for Imagination to imagine Form for Imagination and draw it. Well, good for you, Zeddex. I guess you're a natural talent. Natural talents like you are a scourge on the art world. You guys are the worst. You set bad expectations. You take all the jobs. And then when you try to teach, you guys are the worst. You guys get a whole room full of students, and you guys are the ones who stand up there and go, yeah, just do it. And when the students are like, how? You're like, what do you mean how? Just do it. It's like, yeah, because you never had to wonder. You never had to figure it out. You never had to piece it together. You're a devil. Oh, you're a devil. You talented, talented bastards. You undermine everything. Everything. That's why I'm a good teacher. Because I was literally the worst artist in the world. And I had to learn everything from scratch. And absolutely nothing came natural to me, except how to hold a pencil. I always felt comfortable with a pencil in my hand. Besides that, absolutely nothing came natural to me. I had to piece everything together bit by little bit. And that's why I'm a decent teacher, because I remember everything I had to piece together. Zethero says clickbait title. How's it clickbait? It's the absolute truth. How's the truth clickbait? If it's not clickbait, where are the other so-called great artists? Where are they at? They're not talking in chat. And you know what's fucked up? I know they're watching. I know they're watching. They're scared. They don't talk. They run. They're subbed, man. They're members. They're writing off my Patreon. They're like, market research. Help me. How am I going to keep up with this guy? That's just the truth. People are like, oh, Steven, you're not so great. Oh, Steven, you're not so good. You're not as good as Kentaro Miura. I can promise you I'm in Kentaro Miura's reference folder. I don't even need to see it. If you could get access to it, please. He drag and dropped. Goodbye, Autumn Rose. Steven, very important question. What's your favorite ape? Is a mandrill an ape or is it a monkey? new terrain says, love you, Zapata. Love this pre-Hispanic character also. Glad you like it. Thanks for being here. Just gonna get rid of these lines completely. Hi, Joey. Joe says, what it do? What do it do? Steven is so good, he is in Steven Zapata's reference folder. It's true. How's the dog? The dog is good. Oh, you were talking to Joe, my bad. Mandrills are monkeys, but I meant primates in general. I thought they were monkeys. Yeah, mandrills are awesome. Those are some... I mean, if they weren't real, you'd never believe it. You'd be like, yeah, right. Aki says, Steven, why would we need form from imagination? My imagination thinks stupid stuff while my hand does the whole work. Give us the real deal, form from Knuckles. If I could market it, I would totally do form from Knuckles. Absolutely. The only problem is the marketing problem. People would hear the name, they'd be like, where? It takes too much explanation up front. But once I absolutely and single-handedly transform the spiritual landscape of art, then people will understand. And then I can rename form from imagination to form from Knuckles. People will be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They won't even need to comment on it, it'll just be obvious. Completely obvious. What up? What are you up to out there? Say again? Cool. I want a little break from this. Let's sketch something. Just leaving those on as a reminder to deal with them when I get back. Round brush. Round brush says, we're very lucky to have round brush. You're the reason for so many digital paintings. Round brush says, really appreciated your drawings are made by the body video. I have been struggling with consistency the last couple years, and I think that video is going to help me fix that. That's awesome. I am very glad you connected with it. And it will help, I think. Drawings are made by the body, my friends. People spend way too much time in their heads about art. Draw a lynx or bobcat, says Suplex Mess, maybe. Once I get bored of drawing little blobby grotesqueries. Draw a lynx or bobcat. When the gas station weed kicks in? Yeah. 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 Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo. Hey, Steven, I bet you could make a nice version of I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream. I know what that story's about. I should read it someday. That's a good one. Or it sounds like a good one. I watched some YouTube video a long time ago summarizing the story and its themes. Is it a novel or a short story? I forget now. Oh, yes. What's today's date? This blob is 15 easy, dog. Oh, it's 50 easy. You ever play the Hades game? Yes, I played Hades. I never beat it. I made it to the final boss a couple times, but I never defeated him. Well, I guess I think that was the final boss since I never defeated him. Haven't seen Steven draw in ages. What a treat. Bro, what are you doing? You've got to watch me draw every single day. How else are you supposed to get great at drawing if you're not letting your mirror neurons observe me? Don't you take art seriously? I mean, if you take art seriously, you're giving me at least 35 views a day. A day. Easy. No problem. Very good, that's one. That's one world-class finished piece. Done, finished, ready to go to the gallery, into the museum, directly into the museum, directly into the museum. Right in. Joe says the final boss was inside you all along. Why are you guys getting philosophical? How many times do I have to tell you guys do not get philosophical on this channel, on my stream? Do not do that. No philosophy on this channel. No philosophy on this stream. No philosophy on this stream. Did not do any philosophy. Do not get philosophical on my art channel. Okay? Any new bread news lately, Steven? I've been taking a break from bread. Little break from bread. But there's been a lot of news. What would I pick? Just to talk about it briefly. The court case stuff is super boring for people. I know, and it's confusing to follow, but Carla Ortiz's class action lawsuit, along with Kelly McKiernan and Sarah Anderson and a bunch of other plaintiffs now, actually. So they had filed. There was a motion to dismiss by the defendants, and now there's a ruling on the motion to dismiss, and some things, like I think it was unfair enrichment and things like that, some of the claims were dismissed, but for the most part, the judge denied the motions to dismiss most of the parts of the suit from Carla and others. So I am not sure. All this stuff is public record, it's just on Court Watch or whatever. I am not sure if it is official now that they will go to discovery, to the next step in the process, but I think it's like pending just the judge saying officially, like, all right, begin. And I think, a lot has been going on, but I think that's probably the most significant and pertinent thing right now, is that suit's gonna go through in a way that can have an impact. There's a lot of like bills being proposed and people trying to get the ball rolling on regulations and things like that, but that could have a less broad effect because a lot of those bills that are being proposed are like on the state level, so it'll really only affect a particular state, like California, for example. The good thing about the class action is that it'll set a precedent that will be looked at outside of state borders and things like that. And in general, just in a vibe kind of a sense, it is just super clear that the AI companies, the bread companies, it is super clear that the bread companies know what they did is wrong, because they were trying to run a tight ship. Like, they had the story straight in their head for a while, where they were like, all right, if we want to present the narrative that there's absolutely nothing wrong with what we did, then we can never propose things to companies or other entities that would imply what we did is wrong, and they lost the plot on that. So they keep offering people money for their work. They keep trying to cut deals that have financial value for people's data and for the data of companies. And it's just like, it's them tacitly admitting like, yeah, we should be paying for this stuff. So they're losing the plot on that. They're idiots. They're super off on all of that stuff. I don't know. You really never can tell in this world what's going to happen, but my gut tells me things are going to go well. That's what my gut currently tells me. I don't feel like we're down and out of this fight at all. You guys ever thumbnail a painting by just doing a really blobby version like this? That's just all lighting. It works great. I wouldn't recommend working right over this, but it's a really fast way to do plans for pictures. Speaking of bread, should I use glaze for when I post on Instagram? I think you should post everywhere. I think you should use glaze everywhere. Steven, what do you recommend for days when you're just scribbling without being able to draw anything you enjoy or like the result of, unable to get an idea, just keep scribbling? Yeah, just keep scribbling. It's like, even if nothing good comes out of it, if you put in a while, right? An hour, more than that, several hours, do you have anything to feel bad about? No, you probably feel good about yourself at the end of that. No matter what, you'll be glad that you showed up and tried. Whoa, Steven, what is this? I don't know. I'm just taking a break from the thing I'm supposed to be working on to do sketches. Because sketches are fun, yay! This one is not as cool as this one, though. Oh, yeah. Ooh. That's nice. Oh, that's a good drawing. Ooh. I'm taking a break from sleeping. I can't unsee that. You don't have to. Let it in. Don't resist. Let it in. Let it in. That's straight out of Attack on Titan. Well, my work is incredibly influential and ultra culturally relevant, so I'm not surprised that the people who are working on Attack on Titan are highly influenced by my work and are really just spending their entire careers struggling to just catch even the smallest iota of the magic that's in my work. But I'm glad I can inspire them.
Heresy.
I need to work on a commission. Can you stream for like 6 more hours so I can get a sketch done patiently and joyfully? Yep. Sure. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Nope. Who cares? Merge it down. I really don't care. Ooh, Aisha W with the $10. Just finished a sketchbook of completely average daily random drawings. Thanks for being motivating. Thank you for the $10. I greatly appreciate it. I'm very happy to have helped you on your journey to finishing a sketchbook of completely average daily random drawings. That's great. That is actually no small achievement. It feels good to finish a sketchbook no matter what. Congratulations, Aisha. Congratulations. Now the question is, what am I gonna do with my 10 buckaroos? I just started rollerblading. I'm trying to pick up rollerblading. Maybe I'll tape your $10 to the back of my blades for good luck. Just a little buff. You know, just put me on a more even keel. Money, you know, it always makes me feel more balanced. People want harpoons and chains stuck in the sky. It could be. It could be. I gotta give this donation a heart. Boom. I loved it. I loved it. Do you explain how to use digital tools like Photoshop to do your course in your course? Yes, there's a video on that. It's very, very simple though, because that video really winds up being an explanation of a few brushes and just the basic way that I use like lock transparency in my layer stack to do things like that. Because the exercises are they're simple, That's not to say they're easy, right? Simple does not imply easy, Rendering a sphere, as far as things go, is going to be one of the most straightforward things to render. But that doesn't mean it's easy by any stretch. Have you watched Attack on Titan, Stephen? No, I have not. I don't really watch anime. I used to when I was a youth, but not anymore in my decrepit old age. Being an old man, now all I watch is the news and stock market tickers. All I do is sit there and go, whoa, the Dow Jones, it broke 40,000 for the first time, whoa. Where are our anime girls, Steven? Says Carrie. Where are our anime girls, Steven? Please, I'm trying. If you ever want to see your dog again, you'll get us our anime girls fast. Please, it's so hard. I don't know. The eyes, they're so big. They're too big. They're not too big, Steven. They're just the right size. They're just the right size. You're gonna learn that one way or the other. Please, please, don't hurt, please, I'm trying. You guys gotta chill with that. You guys really gotta chill with that. You guys have no idea. Every time you guys bait me on the drawing anime girls thing, you guys have no idea how many people you genuinely upset. There are so many people in this world who, if I'm not paying respect to their animus, they're genuinely hurt. They're like, literally, I'm hurting their feelings, so. You guys have no idea how many people's days you're ruining when you bait me with stuff like that. Hey, Rem. Anime waifus cannot compete with the muscular, oily men. That is confirmed. I can confirm it. I can testify. I can testify. Call me as an expert witness. I can give my testimony that anime waifus cannot compete with the muscular, oily men. I've got the charts. I've got the science. I've sent the data to the lab, baby. It's done. The war's over. Dark Souls vibes. Always great to see anything of the sort. Love me some Souls. Love me some Souls. Ooh, I really want to play that. I really want to play the Elden Ring DLC. My current production schedule for my next course, though, all the work that I have left to do for this project, I gotta say things are not looking good for playing on release day. It is my birthday, though. The release day is my birthday. Can I play on my birthday? Like, come on. Yeah, it's not looking promising. Might need to put it in the, what do you call it? Gotta put in a lockbox. Break the glass when I've got, because I don't want to like sneak it in little bits and pieces while I got tons of work to do. I might just wait until I've gotten a bunch of stuff off my plate so that I can do it not in bits and pieces, just devour it. Really sink into it. But the problem there is that then by the time I get around to it, there might be less online activity. It's fun when everyone's going through it together and no one knows what's going on and no one has min-maxed the weapons and everyone's just messing around, and even the people that you're summoning to help you are just like falling off cliffs and getting caught in traps. That day one experience where no one knows what's going on is the best. Steven, when are we getting our long play of the Elden Ring DLC? I don't know. I don't have a way to... I play on console and I don't have a way to stream that, so you're out of luck. You guys don't want to watch me play video games. I suck at video games. I like playing them, but I'm no good at them. You guys don't want to watch me play games. And you know what? I don't want to find out that if I stream video games, that gets more views than my regular streams where I'm working and being creative. I don't want to know. If that's the case, I don't want to know. I don't want to find that out. I don't want to, because if I find that out once, then forever, every time I'm streaming and working, and you know, drawing is tough, you know, you got to problem solve all the time. It'll always be in the back of my head like, yeah, or I could boot up the Elden Ring DLC and have more viewers in here. I don't want to know that. I don't need that. Should have been a gaming YouTuber this whole time. Art was a total waste. No. But like I said, that's never been in the cards for me. But, you know, I will say that art does have one of the art niche has one of the worst, like average view to subscriber ratios of a lot of niches on YouTube. Video game channels, even small ones, definitely do better in that regard. But no, video game land is just too competitive. Everyone wants to play video games for money. Jesus. I would not want to throw my hat in that ring. Should I switch back to the thing I'm supposed to be working on? Or just keep doing more world-class sketches? Let me do a little treasure here. Ooh, what's... Oh. Damn, that's a good drawing. Wow. Wow. How'd a loser like me get so classy? There's probably another universe where Steven is the biggest gaming streamer on the planet. No. No, 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 no. Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to find out. I don't want to know about anything that would make me inclined to draw less. Or to focus on art less. It would be good though. Because I would like guide you guys to like all the art director decisions that are going on. It'd be good. You guys would like it, but we're never gonna do it. Lucas says, hello everyone. Hi Stephen, what are you painting? Looks awesome. I don't know. I'm just taking a break from the thing I'm supposed to be working on to do sketches. I'm just snoodling around. It is disturbing how fast you drew that and also made it look realistic. You get the course. You get the course. All right, one more sketch and then we got to go back to what we need to be doing. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? Oh yeah, yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah, no, totally, yeah. Yep, yep. Yep, I see it. That's really cool. Really, really cool idea. Really cool idea. Yeah, Yeah, right, because if I, right, now you see it. Now it's obvious. Yeah. So let's just, looks like a bobcat. Looks like a bobcat or a lynx. I came across a video on using the method called merging shapes. Could you explain what it is? I don't know that method. I mean, you can merge all kinds of shapes, shadow shapes, light shapes, stuff like that. I don't know specifically what you're referring to. None of the methods that people would name or anything like that are super serious, you know? They're just, you know, something that worked for someone. They teach it to others. You put it on like training wheels for a little bit to figure out if you like using it. You incorporate the principle, and then you go back to drawing intuitively. That's what you want, to draw intuitively, because then you can draw stuff like what I'm drawing right now. Everyone wants that, right? Everyone wants to draw this, what this is, what this obviously is. Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, totally. Stephen, how do I merge my forms with the formless and become one with the universe? You get the course. You get the course. Seriously though, you're already one. Seek what part of experience is the illusion of separation. Observe closely. It dissolves. Done? It's that simple. The method has been fully explained. No doubt. I'm glad we're all very clear on what this is. Everybody gets it. That's good. That's why I like to... That's why I'm so happy to have you guys as an audience, right? It's like we're on the same wavelength. It's like you guys know exactly... It's like we have the same brain. You guys know exactly what I'm going for. Of course, we need, obviously, for what we're making here, we obviously need color lookup, obviously. Yep, yeah, it's very obvious what we're going for here. What the? Okay. Fine. AI art? What? You what? Warrington Physophy? You what? Would you say? You what? How could you say that to me? How could you say that to me? You what? In the color lookup, you can just put the mouse on the selection and scroll the wheel instead of clicking it every time you change it, by the way. I will remember that. That's good to know. You can use the arrows too? How'd I not know that? Does that not work on Mac or something? How'd I not know you can use that? Joe says another asset iteration down, Steve. Taking a break to charge the headset. Good, good. Good. She does, in fact, have humongous assets. Jesus Christ. Mo says, you can't just draw a figure in it. That's cheating. Yeah, I'm not a very creative person. If it had been my wife looking at that blob, she would have blown all your minds, but I'm not really that creative of a guy. I just always fall back on my old tricks. Of course I'm on one layer, because I'm the worst. Philip de los Reyes says, will a green jacket on a cloudy day reach the same chromatic intensity as a sunny day? I know it lowers the contrast, but struggling with color. It changes from material to material because there's no real hard and fast rules that can be said about this because it depends on the material of the green jacket because the specularity of that particular jacket will affect its saturation. Because if it has quite a bit of sheen to it, or even if the individual fibers have a particular kind of specularity to them, then they will wind up reflecting, each one of the individual fibers will wind up reflecting more of the ambient light situation, which is this dome of gray, which will bring down the perceived intensity of the saturation. Because it's reflecting that gray dome specularly, it's a mirror-like reflection, so it'll be closer to actual gray. And then that same jacket on the sunny day, it'll be reflecting the white light of the sun off more of it, and that will not really come off as green. That will come off as sort of bleach white. And it will also be reflecting more of the blue skylight, which that will come off quite chromatic, but it wouldn't necessarily be the base green that you're looking for. So it's like this kind of stuff slips through our fingers, you know? The cloudy day green might feel more chromatic in terms of it holds a solid green shape more. So in one sense, that's more chromatic. And then in another sense, the sunny day version might feel more chromatic, but it's broken up with more color variety. It's got the blue mixing into it. It's got the steely white of the sun. It's got its local color. So those things are breaking up any base green, but they could be more saturated in general. So there's so many factors that come into a question like that, where it's like, you can't really do any hard and fast rules. The actual variety in real world materials, when you actually look at them, always stumps you, always shows you that you can't really make hard and fast rules about them. No, that's not to sound like there's nothing you can do. It's like, so what do you do with that information? You design. You make the choice that works best for your picture. Richard Schmid, who knows way more than me about painting. If I remember correctly, in his classic book Alla Prima, he claims that an overcast day produces more saturated, purer colors than the other light effects. But I think that when Richard says that, he means that the color comes off pure because a large area of color will be just more solid, more flat, more just that color, you know? Okay, enough of this. Let me leave for this sketchbook. I just need a thumbnail to remind me when I look through my folders later what the hell is in, what the heck this file is. Oops. I feel like the longer you spend on this drawing, the more confused I get about what it is. I don't know what it was, some sort of golden alien thing. I don't friggin' know. And I don't feel much need to know. No, 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 no. I don't like the songs with words. I'm just gonna start that over. Is the first book still available to buy? I've only found Alla Prima 2. Alla Prima 2 is Alla Prima 1, weirdly enough. That is a bit confusing that they decided to do that. Alla Prima 2 is just an expanded version of Alla Prima 1. So if I'm not mistaken, everything that's in Alla Prima 1 is in Alla Prima 2 and then some. So you should just get 2. I think Alla Prima 1's like the better collector's item because it's out of print, but Alla Prima 2 is the superior book, you know, it has more info. Whoa, my microphone is touching my hair. So do I like the colored background, or do I want to just go dark? Dark always makes things pop off so much more. Well, let's test. I'll just have a couple options. Dark always makes things pop off really nice on an isolated character, but the problem that it does is that things can kind of look like they're glowing because the black studio implies that the ambient light situation should be very dark, so all the shadows should be really dark. But it does make all the colors come off so clearly. Steven, some weirdo is texting me while I'm trying to enjoy this stream. Can you please tell him to stop it at once? Quit your texting. Excuse me, weirdo. Please don't text Charlie anymore. Excuse me, weirdo. Yeah, sorry. Charlie's trying to watch my stream, so if you could just stop with the texting, that would be great. That would be so great. Steven, have you ever seen the rain? And I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Hi, I'm a professional artist with 13 years of experience in illustration, print, concept design for video games, theme parks. Yeah, people used to like my art, but then they heard my singing, and I could never get them to care about my art again. I never should have done that. After they heard my singing, there was just no going back. It's all people wanted from me. Now my art's just chopped liver, you know? Yeah, it's a little too odd. It's a very odd choice. Goodbye, Aki. Enjoy your off-screen time. Smogic says, do you have any advice for inking with a brush? I want to get better with it, but it's so difficult. I've done it a bunch, but I feel like I'm still really rudimentary with it, you know? I don't think I have anything in the way of like fancy tricks. It's just a very unforgiving medium. Don't be afraid to use whiteout, I would say. A lot of your heroes use whiteout. It's okay to make corrections. You don't need to get everything perfect the first time. Use good ink. You know, inks are different thicknesses. Really thick ink will run out on the brush quicker, but you may like some of its working qualities. I prefer the thinner inks, like the, what is it? The Zig Mangaka ink or the Zig Sumi ink. They're thinner. And so one dip will sort of last longer. You can do longer flowing lines. I don't know, you need to experiment a lot with that. Very unrelenting medium, very unforgiving. Yeah, poor Joe bought some gray microns when he needed black. So sad. So sad. On another note, Steven, won't you stay with me one more day? That one I actually don't know. That one I do not know. I'll sing you another song though. What can I sing? Wow, can there be any more epic a brain fart than just asking your brain to any random song? You're just like, songs don't exist. What about the only song that should exist, that Ants Marching song by Dave Matthews Band? When all the little ants are marching, red and black and in the way, they all do it the same. They all do it the same way. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. We all looked at each other. Back to weed and he's rolling. Never changes a thing. The week ends, the week begins. We say. Like, who needs Bach? Who needs Bach? Who needs Bach? When you have the Have Mahitius. Who needs Bach when you have Dave Matthews? Sorry, I really tickled myself imagining Dave Matthews just making songs about how you don't need Bach, but you do need him. We all do it the same way. Burp, burp, burp. Burp, burp, burp. Shouldn't he be more shredded? Says Marilix 2. Why don't you draw him? Why don't you draw your shredded character? Let's see how shredded your character comes out. I'm just trying to trick you into manifesting more shredded characters into the world. He draws a shredded character. One more shredded character about to eat and he's rolling. All right, there's a base for this guy. Now, I'm not going to sit and do the full render for this because I didn't redraw him. But this is a start for me evaluating, because I've got to render probably 5 or a bit more. I've probably got to render 5 characters for this project. So this can be a touchstone for the pipeline to put them through. But to finish something like this takes a long ass time. And you don't want to do it over a sketch, because I just did this over the sketch of this guy. You want to put in all that time on an actual finished drawing. Like I didn't resolve any of the perspective or design of like the big pectoral piece and stuff there. So we want to avoid that. I don't know, I think I like the lighter colored background better. The dark backgrounds just get so heavy, especially if you start to imply what I did down here, like the little gradients and grounding it in space. It's just like, it gets too unusual. It's usually better just have it solid black. Stuff to think about, stuff to think about. I could work on these sketches for a bit. Hello, Boxer Wing. Does he indulge in sacrifices and rituals? Some rituals. I wouldn't say sacrifices, though. Is he a warrior or more like a priest? He's tribe leader. Joe knows when to shh. Hello, Girl Bard. How am I today? I'm doing great. I'm drawing away on a Saturday. I'm just happily drawing away. And what else? Not much. Oh yeah, I have a sale going on. But everybody knows that. They can see the information right underneath my head. It's right down there. Form from Imagination is on sale. Whoa, John Manol clearly needs some serious help finding this artist. I don't know, I can't help him. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the Age of Empires 2 cutscenes. I've seen the Age of Empires Craig Mullins art. I haven't seen the cutscenes. Tired Ennio says, hi, Steven. What are you forming from imagination today? I am working on characters. I was rendering one, and now I am stupidly trying to work on a lineup sheet on stream, which is a horrible idea, but I don't want to render anymore, so. Do you ever use references on your streams? Usually not. Just because it clutters up my whole environment. 9 times out of 10, if I'm streaming, I don't have any refs up. But if I wasn't streaming right now, I would definitely have my my mood and reference boards up for these biomes that I'm working on. Are you down with ritual warfare? Is there a difference between ritual warfare and regular warfare? Stephen, I have one really important question. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Ritual warfare permits the display of courage, masculinity, and the expression of emotion while resulting in relatively few wounds and even fewer deaths. Dude, that sounds like that just sounds like that meme. Don't fuck with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side. That's emotion, that's masculinity, that's courage. It's everything all in one. If that's what ritual warfare is, I'm in. You know, brandishing the Sailor Moon magic wand. If that's what you're looking for, man, go for it. I mean, that meme went places, you know? Don't let me stop you. Would spending the number of hours I can... Sorry, I gotta stretch. Oh! Getting a little hungry. Oh. Would spending the number of hours I can deliberately practice on art studies daily and spending the rest of it to original artwork be a good idea? I'm a little confused by the split there. The way you worded it, I'm confused by what kind of split you're positing there. But the general one that I recommend is spend half your time studying, half your time doing your original artwork, and do your original artwork first in the day and study first in the session, and do your studying second half of the session. You want your artwork to get your best energy, your clearest mind, your most excitement, most awake, most excited, least disappointed in yourself. Steven, show us the best impression you got? Oh, that's easy. I do it on here all the time. Town yokel answers detectives' questions about Lovecraftian beast.
Ah, well, hello there, officers. What can I do you for? Oh. Nyarlathotep. Yeah, I think I seen him, yeah. Nyarlathotep. Sort of a 7'5" Egyptian looking kind of a character, right? Yeah, he came through here about a couple weeks ago. Had a coterie of some 5,000, 6,000 acolytes. Believed he was the harbinger of the return of the old gods or something of the sort. Yeah, I saw him doing prostrations, milling about down by the old river. Didn't think much of it. Him and his followers seemed just fine to me. Maybe talking a little bit too much about the return of Cthulhu, who does slumber forever in his sunken city of Relais. Anyway, why are you boys looking for him?
Thoughts about the Wacom art pen? Wow, the whiplash on this stream. The absolute whiplash on this stream. If you're talking about the 6D art pen, I have not used that since like 2008, so I don't know how much better it's gotten. When I used it back in 2008, it didn't seem like a big deal. Hello, Nihao. Cthulhu. Sort of a 6-story tall, leather-winged reptilian octopus dragon. Yeah, that does sound familiar. Yes, I think I've seen him. Now, Mama, them men in black is here to talk about Cthulhu. Billy Ray, get inside. What'd I tell you about talking to the nice men in black about Cthulhu? I'm sorry, officers. He doesn't know that much about the esoteric, arcane, and horrifying. Can I get you some sweet tea? The sculpted fetish of Cthulhu. All right, I gotta stop. Show gods. Yeah, I think I know about them. Sort of those protean slaves created by the elder things. Make a sort of piping sound. What is it? Kind of like tikilili, tikilili. Yes, I think I know about them. All right, I'm stopping. I'm stopping. We've got to put that one to rest. Joel Berg says, love this work, just came in. Is it for some special project or just for fun? It is for fun and also for a project. This is for a comic that I'm putting together with my buddy Joe. Maybe this has gotten answered before, but does Steven plan on getting the new iPad plus Apple Pencil Pro package for the barrel rotation? No. I do like the iPad Pro a lot, but I don't really feel like I haven't looked into the new one, what new stuff it's exactly offering, but I have the second gen one, whatever, the first one where they rounded the corners of the screen. I forget if that's second gen or third gen, and I don't really feel the need to upgrade. They'll need to add something pretty crazy before I'll upgrade again. Hello, Adam. Suplex Mess, hello. 2 streams in a row that ain't bread? You know it, baby. You know it. I think I'm getting ready for a rest here. But let me sketch over this guy right quick. How you doing? Still studying out there? Do you typically draw with music? I feel like I focus better without it, but it's also nice to listen to. I don't know what's best, maybe both. I've been drawing a lot in silence lately. When it's not silence, I don't usually do music these days. It's usually a podcast or an audiobook. People tend to wind up on one side or the other. They find words too influential or they find music too influential. I think I land in, I find music too influential. It makes me like restless playing music while I work. Steven, why do the fake M&Ms in trail mix taste so much better than the real thing? Because they have the salt from the nuts on them. Goodbye, Arashi.
Elder things. Kind of radially symmetrical, vegetable-based creatures who ruled the world while our kind swung from tree to tree in steamy jungles. Yeah, I think I recognize them. Think I saw an elder thing fly under the town bridge about a week or 2 weeks ago. Now, why are you boys looking for elder things?
I feel like people need vibes, says Mizubi, like environment. I love silence, but like outside or even just noise. Other times I totally zone in with music where stream set vibe. Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. You know, I find, I don't know, I'm just not a good candidate for listening to music a lot while working. It's either, I can do it if I only listen to one song on loop, but playlists never satisfy me, no matter how, they don't work for me. No matter how well curated or anything like that, inevitably, as the playlist goes on, I just want to listen to something else. And then that begins the main problem I have with music, which is that I keep getting distracted changing the song. I keep flipping back and forth to messing with my playlist and all that. And That really bothers me. It doesn't let me just settle into the work. Dean says, "Hi Steve, how can I be more excited about art and art making? I'm slowly dropping guilt and ego as drivers to draw, but I feel that when I relax, I am less productive." That's one of two. I must add, I'm mostly busy with schoolwork and not personal work at the moment. I'm trying to mix my interests with the assignments, but it's rough. It's hard, but it's a very good way to use your creativity. It'll pay off in the long run. But yes, it's hard to, in situations where you don't control it completely, it is difficult to sort of shoehorn it and mold it so that it is actually aligned with your interests, but it's worth doing. When you're relaxed, you're less productive. That's a temporary phase. Anybody is going to do better work, maybe not at the same rate, but you're going to do better work if you don't have unwise motivations, right? Being stressed, being pressed for time, doing work to impress others and things like that, in the long run, it's going to make you produce worse work. So over the course of your journey, you're going to do better relaxed. It's a temporary phase. What happens is that you've been using bad incentives to drive your art. And you don't have wholesome ones to switch to immediately. So you offload the bad incentives, you get stuck in this trough where you don't have a new incentive structure built up to drag you towards the things that you want to do, but you're going to have to do that. You'll build new incentives, wholesome incentives, ones that align with your values, and then you'll be back to being very productive. So it's just a phase, you'll get through it. You need that one random skeptical uncle come barging out of a door with a shotgun in his hand. Yeah, they're not here to find out about Nyarlathotep. Don't listen to them. They want to know where the gold bars is down in the basement. All right. Red Zune says, "Where is this dialogue from? I really must know." It's from right here, baby. #1 USDA Prime Stream Classics. That's all that is. All right, buddy. All right, buddy. No. All right, everybody. I can feel myself fading here. I want to go have a snack and relax for a little bit. So I'm going to pack it in. If anybody has any last questions, hit me with them in stream. Do you have a brush pack you can download, and if so, where? I do not, no. I do the vast majority of everything I do on stream with the basic brushes. I use the hard round. I use the round brush in all its variations. Hard, soft, no opacity, yes opacity. I use that for 90% of everything that I do. And it's my favorite brush for all of my rendering. The round brush is the best. And I use the airbrush all the time. Does anyone know this brush that I'm drawing with right now? I don't put my brush pack out there because I know I've paid for some of these brushes and I don't want to be like redistributing brushes that other people charge for, you know? So that's why I don't put my brushes out there. This brush, does anyone recognize this one? The one that I'm drawing with right now? The name of it is in kanji, I think. Is that Japanese? I don't know. So I can't really tell you what it is, and I can't search for it. For the longest time, a lot of my texture brushes, some of the stuff you might be interested in here, I very rarely use these, but if you're looking for every now and then the more textured stuff that I use on stream, Ahmed Al-Duri's brushes are free on Gumroad. If you search Ahmed Al-Duri brushes, they pop right up. That brush pack was all I used for the longest time. So. Everybody, like everybody ever, you're right. That's exactly it. Hi, Nocturne. Sorry that I'm heading out. Where did you hide the money? Now, boys, I had about $8 million in gold coins under the floorboards in the basement. You are only to take those in the rare situation that Dagon the fish god rise from his sunken palace and start taking over the earth, beginning, of course, with Innsmouth and him's hybrid acolytes that he has built up across the generations. In that situation, and in that situation only, pull up the lead pipes that are buried under the floorboards. Each one contains about 80 gold coins. Sell them in $3,000 chunks to different coin distributors all across the United States. That way you avoid taxation. All right, everybody, it's time to close up. It's time to close up. Thanks for being here, everybody. We did a bunch of stuff. That's good. Drawing is good. It's good to work. We worked on him. We did sketches. That one sucks. That's obviously the best one. That should be the thumbnail for the PSD. That's the best drawing that we did today. We did not work on that, but we did work on these guys a little bit. And I'm gonna go. Don't forget that Form for Imagination is on sale until May 31st. $100 off the version with feedback from me and $50 off the premium and core editions. Mizubi says, how to get art job experience. Portfolio is everything for most art jobs. So you can really just like get on an indie project with some people. And if you're making good work, you're making good work. You know, you don't need to do like an internship at a studio or something like that. I struggle with adding detail and polish in any medium. I guess the answer is to give it all and push for as many hours and iterations as necessary, as you've said a bunch. Art takes a very long time. Most people do not understand how long it actually takes. I mean, many of your favorite pieces have surely been worked on for over 100 hours. So sometimes you just got to get there. You know, you got to get used to being out in those long time sink briars. You know, you got to get used to that. All right, everybody. I'm going to run. Goodbye to Mizubi, 248, Joel Berg, Joseph Marziliano, Sploige, Dean, Colin Gallagher, I Nocturne, Angel, Keyboard Thug, Fracticist, Karem Eldemir. Mizubi, did I already get Mizubi? Joseph Santoyo and Barry Ryan. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Adam. Who says, thank you for for streaming, Stephen. These really brighten my day. I am happy to be of service. Truly. I am truly happy to be of service. I will see you all again, maybe tomorrow, and if not, then Monday. Take care, everybody. Actually, it wouldn't be Monday, Tuesday. But I'll probably see you all tomorrow. All right, everybody. Happy drawing today, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.